Well, this changes my plans on how I was gonna do this video. I can't go out there dressed like this when he looks so damn drip-tastic. I gotta go change it up now. Gonna go change it up. So I woke up 3 hours earlier than usual just to watch this episode. And I was probably grinning the whole time. Hey everyone, Zio Agito again, and I just gotta say, this episode was stuffed. Like how a Hot Pocket looks like in the commercial, but when you microwave it, all the insides just explode out, leaving you with a hollow, empty, nasty bread. Actually, you know what? That's a terrible analogy. This episode was nothing like that. So let's just break down the major plot points in focused order.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The big mystery surrounding the Ushijima family is mostly solved, as Sakura is kicking her usual ass in karate. Hikaru once again invites Sakura over. She decides this time not to wimp out and actually follow through. As she arrives, she's immediately attacked by a whole lot of folks, taking them right into the basement, which happens to be the base of the Ushijima family, known as Weekend. Tasuke's actor has been MIA for a while now. It's nice to know that the reason why was for the purpose of growing out some facial hair. Which that, with this look, I mean, if Weekend attire was a thing, I'd invest. I mean, do you see that color? That is some Ishinomori 70s era drip with some modern flair. It's too good, and part of the reason why I had to drip it up just for the sake of this video. But it's here that we learn a couple things. First is that they were the ones responsible for sending Sakura the driver. And second, they pretty much know everything that's been happening. There's still a lot of questions regarding their true role in all this. Also, why they picked Sakura out of all the Igarashi siblings. And also, the continued secrecy in Sakura's involvement with them. However, they task Sakura with reclaiming the Gifu stamp from Aguilera, where they apparently also knew where she was hiding. But I feel it's the same place Sakura has already met with Aguilera before, so... Anyway, Sakura shows up and quickly beats up Aguilera in a very one-sided fight, reclaiming the Revice stamp, only to later find out that the Gifu stamp that they had was fake. Alright, on to the Fenix side of the plot. George gets confronted regarding Hiromi's claim that the demon's driver, was a demon, which he doesn't deny and instantly comes clean about it. Speaking of clean, George is also still killing it with the grandma attire, making it look so good. George always has a different kind of grandma drip about him. George then takes the guys to Gifu, where the pulsations make Vice freak out. That's when the director shows up to explain what their goal is to separate the humans from their demons. Yeah, I'm completely buying that. Hiromi turns in his resignation letter, all to George's indifference. However, he notices that the director was headed right to Olteca on his way out, which leads to the grand revelation that we already knew. Also revealing that Olteca still had the Gifu stamp with him the whole time. It's then that Gifu's pulsations causes the Fenix base to start losing altitude, as Olteca debuts the Demon's Driver in what I'm sure was intended to be the real debut of this writer. Now on to Daiji's part of the story. That's when the Kamen bikers show up. Also, Hiromi delivers some lines per the norm, only to get blown up. look, he's not dead. Like, they didn't show us the body, and that's like a very common trope in most shows and comics. You don't see a body, they're not dead. He'll probably be back in like 2 to 6 episodes from now. As such, we get this dialogue from Olteca. Yeah, this was supposed to be the real demon's debut, and my god, was it good. He just completely wrecks face in this fight. And that rider kick? Now that was raw as fuck. That's gotta go on my top 10 raw as fuck rider kicks list. Still in development. The episode ends with Gifu pulsating and Genta having visions of Gifu. Still, so many questions. I completely love to see it. This is getting a Super 1 rank. This episode was what I was hoping for. Finally, we get answers to the questions that we've been having, but we get some more questions sprinkled in. Olteca continues to outdo himself in how great of a villain he is. And, you know, anyone else starting to notice that Sakura is like the real star ever since her arc? Like, she's formed the most amount of connections and relationships from the start, and I'm really enjoying that. Even though she's a female writer, she's actually playing a very big key role in this story. Sign me up for her spin-off V Cinema. I'm in. With Weekend's reveal, there's still the question of what all they know, as well as what they're really after. Also, what do those tubes do? Demons finally looks and feels threatening. The villain writer is here, and it makes Hiromi's version of the character really feel like a retired old man, putting on the suit and trying to fight. He's like the mermaid man of Kamen Rider. But now we get a Spider-Man that is truly worthy of its weight in rawness. Meanwhile, Daiji, so many different tidbits from this episode were just great. Especially when Olteca puts on the belt and the belt talks back saying, "Are you a demon? You smell just like me." Lines like that, great. Also, who's the real main character of this show? It's Sakura and Vice. Given the amount of screen time and character development that we've gotten, really, this feels more like it's about Sakura, it's about Vice. Iki's just disappearing from a painting. We still have those questions. I'm still waiting for some answers. The love affair with Fenix is long over, as everyone has their suspicions as well. So does that mean that the Igarashi siblings are now going to operate from home? Also, where does that leave the director of Fenix and Olteca? Is their base of operation going to be the fallen Phoenix base? And how is George going to take to all this? Or was this also something that he's been in the loop of this entire time? His involvement with all of this still has its own questions. Also, trying to figure out what's going on with Genta and his relationship with Gifu. Is he Gifu? Like, I'm really starting to think that he is. And that would be just absolutely crazy if it is. Like I said, this episode just ended with so many more questions that I just want answers to. But overall, still satisfying of a result that we got, especially with that fight of the true Kamen Rider demons. I'm just concerned that we're going to be left hanging for a while, given that the episode's preview for next week is looking kind of, you know, flavor of the week. So, did this episode satisfy the questions that you've had? And are you ready for more? Do you think that Fenix will get a new look and feel now that the secret's out? What about George? I'd love to see if and when he has some real exchanges with Olteca and how their characters bounce off each other. That's going to be a sight to see. Also, long collars making a comeback? Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to go rock this strip in front of the mirror and do some cool poses for about the next hour. So, until next time, bye.